Welcome to Dreadysays. The unboxing has arrived. We're going to check out the Mistral or the LIDL paddleboard. There's all kinds of crazy bird things happen around me. And we're going to see, is it as good as everyone's making out? Now this is the unboxing and quality check. The water test is going to be coming out very, very soon. The weather is very British, it keeps raining, it's a bit naff. So, it's unboxing time, let's get into it. So they release these every year. It's the same one every year. Check out the pump review. Hopefully the board is better than the pump. 2 years now they've redesigned the pump and it has been absolute junk. Well, it's already a winner in my books. A couple of stickers, they can go on the van fridge. Manual. And what struck me about this is the box is a lot smaller than most paddleboards I've had to review. And it comes in the bag. Oh, the sun's come out. Well, that just makes video editing all the more difficult. So everything fits in the bag. Right. We don't like plastics. We don't like it in the ocean. A lot of companies are now not wrapping everything in a ton of plastic. And LIDL are one of them. Paper packaging. So you get a dry bag and handle, tick. Now I think this is a 4-piece paddle because it doubles up as a kayak. So yes, it is. Okay, that's fair enough. So you just pull one of those out. We'll look at the setup in a bit. We're just unboxing it in a minute. Surf style fin. Very small leash. It's coiled as well. That's fine. For river use, I don't think we're going to get a quick release belt. Ha! Wow. So you actually get glue with this one because it's coming from Germany, not China. Valve tighten tool. Hopefully I'll remember and we'll get to that in a bit. This mystery item is the footrest for the kayak. The pump, which I will use very briefly and then use an electric pump because I'm lazy. I won't be using the LIDL pump. You're getting a lot for 180 quid with a LIDL card. Kayak seat, never used one of these, but we are going to give that a go in the water test. And the board itself. Okay, let's tidy up a bit. The bag's quite nice. It's got foam inserts to carry it, usual pockets on the side, waist strap, that's quite rare. Forward sort of chest strap, side handles, everything looks well double stitched. Vent holes in the bottom for getting sand out. So far, very, very good. Let's have a look at this board. Well, you're going to spot it a mile off. Right, there we go. 320 centimetres, 84 by 15. I believe that equates to 10'6", 32 wide and 6 deep. I'll pop it on screen if I'm wrong. Right, let's have a look. So, bungees, the bungee points are well glued, the seams seem well glued. This is for the kayak footrest, straps there for the seat. Not the thickest, but it'll do. The centre handle. Ah, little name badge to put on there. Right, so I think the reason they've put this on is because a lot of people were complaining about a bulge. Now you see where the valve is there. There would have been a bulge here and they'd have been getting so many back because people would have thought they were defective. It wasn't. It's just where the bottom of the valve is. Fin box looks good. They used to have 3 fins. Now they have 2. Now, the 3 fin debate, when you have the 2 small ones at the side, they're called thruster fins. And therefore giving you grip and stability in white water and surf. Now, I wish I'd had this when I went to Wales. I would have liked to have surfed this. Well, it's 10'6", it's written on the side. But they came out the day we were coming back, so I couldn't get one when we were away on our surf trip. So, oh, it's got a raised kick pad. Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, you've got your step back turn kick pad. The valves are in a strange position. They're on your deck pad. Not sure how I feel about that. You'd have thought they'd have put them on the back out the way and on the front. So you will be sort of standing on them. So, yeah, mixed feelings about that. But they're there. Why have they put them there? Anyway, that's where they are. I've never seen that. It's fine. If you are walking around on the board and doing your step back turns, you will be stepping on those, especially if you have bare feet. And if you're sup surfing on it, you might catch your foot. And if you're trying to look for this pad, you will stand on them. Very minor niggle, but we're being honest about this board. Strange design decision, but 99% of you out there using this are going to be stood in the middle of the board. So there we have it. But it has that raised kick pad. Let's get it inflated. Let's put the kayak seats and all the bits and pieces on and see what it's like. And it even says on there to inflate valve pin up. Now, that is incredibly important. Let me show you. Get this wrong, you have a bad time. You see how that pin moves freely up and down? When you let the air out and lock it off, you see how that's now locked? If you were to put the pin in, it will inflate, but then when you try and deflate, it tends to lock it open and all the air will come gushing out. So always make sure, give it a little turn until it rises up. Let me try and show you. It should pop up. See that? Has to be like that. You'll thank me later for that one. Trust me. So it's saying 15 across each valve. Start with valve 1. Then inflate the second chamber. Right, so it's a twin valve. However, you've not got to do a whole board twice, okay? There is only still probably 120, 140 litres of air in the board divided by 2. It's not 140 twice. So you are still only inflating the same amount of air as a normal board with one valve, but it feels a bit daunting when you see a twin valve. Pumps are very straightforward. You have an inf for inflate and a def for deflate. And here you've got action 1 and action 2. Now, to make sure I've got this the right way round, 1 is high pressure and 2 is high capacity. What that means is you have it on 2 because it's inflating on the up and down stroke. It's a twin stage pump. That gets air in quickly, but then when it starts to get difficult, when that needle's probably getting to about 3 or 5, you turn it to 1 and then it's just putting 1 stroke in on the way down. You can hear it. Sort of, but it works. So straight off the bat, that's not the best. That's wanting to cross thread, so be careful putting that on. Start on number 1, check the valve again. You put it in and then turn it clockwise to the right. Now pumping, Don't just do this with your arms. That's a horrible camera angle. Don't just do this. What you want to be doing is up and then straighten your arms and push down. This first stage is very easy. There's not a lot of effort in this sort of initial bit. So you can just do it as quick as you like because there's practically no resistance. Have I got that on inflate yet? When it starts to get a little bit more difficult, see how I'm locking my arms on the downstroke and bending my knees? Easier for taller people. But that's just using bone instead of muscle. Now the gauge on mine as well isn't even at 0. I think that's deliberate because they want to see this moving, because most gauges don't move until they get to 3 or 5. So I think it's a deliberate design. Or it's broken. No, that is moving. Right, now it's starting to get a little bit more difficult. So I'm straightening my arms on the way down. Now it's a dual chamber, so you'll see what's happening. See how the middle is its own chamber because it's all sunken, and the first chamber is the outside, and number 2 is that whole section in the middle. It's not a terrible design. Throgging my throat this morning. Right, so you see how it's now gone to 3 and it's starting to get a little bit difficult. You can power through or move this to 1, and we're now on high pressure. Now some of you may give up and go, there's plenty of air in there. Look at that. Oh, it's rock solid. It's not. It's about halfway done. Right, so this video isn't huge to edit. I'm gonna duck out now, pump it up and come straight back. Now call me lazy if you want, but I'm cheating. Had the air bank in the garage, so why make life difficult? You see during that second stage that the middle is now inflating quite nicely. I am a fan of the dual chambers. They do seem really solid, and if you do have a puncture, especially on the middle, you've got a good chance of getting back. The outside one goes, you've at least still got a bit of a buoyancy aid in the middle to sort of kick your legs back with. Right, be right back with you. Now a tip I always like to tell people, when you're taking the valve out, I pick the board up and then turn it to the left and let it drop down. Sometimes if you've got a slightly sort of misformed nozzle attachment, you get away with it and all the air doesn't come gushing out. It's a bad time. It's alright if you've got an electric pump, but when you haven't, no. Right. So, there she is. I was slightly off with the stats. It is 10'6". It is 6 inches deep. Don't forget to put your caps back on. It's 33 inches wide. What sort of difference is an inch going to make? Let's not go there. Right. So, this is your footrest. Okay. Don't think that's going to come off. Kayak seat. Never used one, so it'd be quite interesting. Oh, you get a little bag on the back of your kayak seat. In my 6-7 years of doing this, I've never actually used a kayak seat. Right, now for the world's worst camera angle. Well, adjust this a lot. Oh, hello. Yeah, and my feet lock under there. Okay. This is going to be loose. So what we do is we unlock it, get this, turn it clockwise. I'm going to give this 3 goes. And it should be resistant. There we go, look. Snap, locked. Very important, that. Right, so let's turn this into a kayak paddle. Should read the instructions really, shouldn't I? Go right back. Oh, it's not that bit, is it? Nah, can't be. It does tell you to tighten the valve before use. Nearly forgot. Valve tightening tool. Basically, pop that in the grooves and just do it. Don't go crazy, but just enough. That one needed quite a lot of a turn. It's important that. Make sure you do it, folks. And follow the instructions, which I'm not. Right, how do you put this paddle together then? Right, it's not going to tell me. So one side definitely locks in. It's going to rain. And the other side literally just looks like it's going to clamp onto there. Which means you need to give this another turn so you don't end up losing the end. Yeah, give that another turn, make sure it locks, and then you're good for kayakery. Around clotheslines. Okay, so see, that's quite nice. Quite like that. Footrest, good. Right, we're racing against the weather now. This is quite straightforward. Thread it through. Over the top. And back through the other side. He says. Thread it through. And then take the entire other end and pull that through. Simple as that. Fin installation is very straightforward. There is a trick to it. There's always a trick to it. So, when you're packing this away, always pop the plate back on. Trust me. Drop that in. Slide it forward. Put that in the end. Locate the hole. Pop the pin in, tighten up. Now, all the way forward for max manoeuvrability, all the way back for max stability. Now, we're not going to be doing anything crazy with this board, so just put it at the back. This is a tried and tested system, and it works. No proprietary systems. It means you can upgrade your fin if you need to. This looks like a 11-inch, 12-inch fin, which is fine. And there we have it. Oh, you've got that, so you can attach it to a dock. So there we have it. The 10'6", 33 wide, 6-inch deep. Is it 6-inch deep? Yep. Mistral little board with kayak mode. Comes with glue and a repair kit. Comes with a valve tool. It's twin chamber. All the stitches and seams look absolutely spot on. Twin chamber, it's not an issue. Single fin, you don't need 3. The bag looks good. But the question is, can you get it all back in again? So before we sign off, let's see if we can get it all back in. Right, so deflate time. So off comes the fin. To get the fin out, I just screw it slightly into the plate, move it to the middle of the box, pull it out. Easy when you know how, eh? Always put the plate back on. Always have a spare in your bag or in your car. Right, valve cover's off. I'm going to go in, twist and turn to the right. And it will smell of glue. They all do for the first few goes. Yeah, very gluey. Now you can use the board, the pump, to deflate it. But I'm not going to bother. Right, so at this end there's a seam there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my fold just behind that seam. And I'm going to line the first fold up with the middle of the bungee and see if that does the job. So make a fold, push the air out, make the same size fold, push the air out, and we're hoping when we get to the other end that the fin isn't on a fold. That's enough of my bottom. So I'm hoping now that when I fold it over, the fin box comes to me. Yeah, just. Right, so that made a bit of a crackling noise, so be careful of that. Not happy with that last fold. So I'm going to tuck this in as much as I can. See if I can just get a little bit more space. Yep, that's much better now. So that's what you want to aim for. Might take a few goes, but you'll get there in the end. Now, they did put the kayak seat in first. You can leave the leash on, it's not a problem. And it's in. So, always make sure your fin goes in. The technically 4-piece paddle. I didn't show you in SUP mode, did I? Right, so that won't go in now because we've got it in kayak mode. So we need to turn that to loosen it. It's just a single turn was enough. Pop this on. Now, this is the important bit. Make sure it lines up. You want to hang your wrist just over the top like that. That's optimum length. Lock it off. Make sure you never look at the Mistral logo. When you're paddling, you don't want to ever be seeing it. This is the side that's facing you. If you can see the Mistral, bad. The handle should just fit into your fingers like that. So with the paddle, just going to take that section out. And see if there's a careful place to slide it in between the board without causing any havoc. The bar, dry bag, repair kit, other bit of kayak paddle. I'm going to pop that on the top. The pump, we're going to leave that out for now. The pump would fit down the side actually, but usually you put it on the side of the bag if these fit in here, which they usually do. No, it might be with a bit of persuasion. have a look. I mean, the bag is incredibly generous. Look at that. Well done, Mistral. Very, very generous bag. There we have it, all the adjustments on it. Probably weighs about 12 kilograms. And there we go. Water test is coming up. I'm quite impressed with that, 180 quid. Can't really go wrong, but we'll see. On the water, that will be coming out in a few days. You guys take care. Check out the pump review for this if you've got 5 minutes, and we'll catch you for the next one.